binge eating is taking over my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's getting to the point where I'm kind of worrying about my health. I think it's so hard to get over a sugar addiction. I cannot explain how hard it is. But for me personally, it's chocolate. It's something they put in chocolate. What is it about dairy milk? Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube channel. I'm no professional, so I'm not going to be giving advice as such. I just want you guys to hear me out. I just feel so alone with this problem that I have. The thing about binge eating is that people will say to me, oh, you eat really healthy. But what they don't see is all the guilt as to why I'm eating the healthiness when they see me. And I'm also embarrassed because the night before I've eaten the whole cupboard. I don't know, it's just a bit of a sticky one because literally all my best friends think I eat so healthy because I come in to work, into uni, into wherever, and I have these healthy meals, or I eat healthy, or I always talk about eating healthy. But I think that's deep down because I'm so ashamed of eating really bad. So when people say to me, oh my God, you eat really healthy, like when I'm not feeling great, they're like, no, Corey, you look really skinny. I don't know what you're on about. Like, I actually believe them when they say that. Like, I know they're being truthful to me. But at the same time, I know what I eat behind closed doors. And I think that mentally affects me because you are what you eat in a sense. My mental being is like a chocolate bar and my appearance might look like a salad with some nuts. I don't know. If that makes any sense. But just internally I just feel really crap. So when I look in the mirror I just think, oh my God, so ugly. Which is silly because I shouldn't be stressing over this stuff this young, but it's has got to a bad point. I think it's to do with stress as well, like depending on the stress of your life. My theory with binge eating is the extremist viewpoint. You go from one extreme to the other because you restrict yourself so much because you feel so guilty for binging the day before that you're in this constant cycle of eating super, super healthy and then eating super, super crap when that's just messing up your body and your hormones. And I guess you could say I ran half marathon out of nowhere and I was training for that. It also comes from like being obsessed over things and getting bored easily. You could kind of say that links to ADHD in a sense, but I'm intrigued to know if that's actually a thing, but it's a theory I have. I don't know. It could actually be scientifically proven, but I just can't stay consistent. I think that's my biggest problem. And that makes me feel worthless. The thing about binge eating and not being consistent in general makes you feel like it actually makes me feel very weak of a person. My mindset is, right, when I'm actually eating, let's say I have a whole chocolate bar. I will eat a few squares of the chocolate bar, whatever, and then I'll be like, I've already come this far, like I'm just gonna eat some more. And then you've eaten half and then you're like, I may as well have some more, it tastes really good. And then you're like, fuck it, I've literally eaten all of it now, what's this gonna change? And then by the end of it, you've eaten the whole chocolate bar. You then sort of feel really, really guilty, and then you're like, well, I'll sort of eat healthy tomorrow, that's fine, I'll go on like this cleanse tomorrow. And then you end up eating like a whole packet of biscuits in the end. And this actually was me the other day when I came home from work and I was like, I'm really hungry, and I've been like on this 2-day cleanse, like extreme cleanse, and I saw these malted milks and I was like, I'm a sucker for malted milks. And I ate probably on the way home about 4 and I was like, I'm doing pretty well. And then I ended up just eating the whole packet because I was like, I have come this far, even though it's only 4 biscuits. I'm like, I've come this far, I may as well eat more. And this is my problem because by the time I got home I'd eaten all of them. At the end of the day I feel so embarrassed that I could just like put the wrapper in the bin and no one would know about it, and it's like I've never eaten it. Like, that to me is girl math. If I can't see the packaging, I have not eaten the calories. Or if I'm standing up near the fridge and I'm not sitting down and eating, I don't count the calories. This is why me being next to a cupboard of food is really bad, because I'll just sort of like stand there and eat because I'm like, oh, I can't really have any more. And then you walk away and you're like, I'll have a little bit more. And then you just keep pacing around, and it's like, if I just sat down, I probably would eat less. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I would try different diets every week. I kid you not, I tried keto, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, no sugar, fasting. Now, fasting, I think, is where I made the problem. And for females, it's really dangerous to fast, actually. Like, you shouldn't be fasting in certain points in your cycle. I know that for a fact. I got to a point at work where I started hallucinating and I was just really unwell, point blank. This was probably about 2 months ago. That was like the last straw of me trying different diets. I was so drained. You could tell I had no energy, very weak. But I just the weight wouldn't budge. And that's because of this term yo-yo dieting. It's what all I've ever known, which I guess it makes you feel really defeated, because let's say when it was really bad and I just thought, okay, I've got to change this, I started running, and that really helped my mind, because I would eat calories and not feel bad for it because I'd burn it off. When I was walking home, the story I was telling you about walking home with the biscuits, when I came home, I then demolished a whole Tony's chocolate bar, salted caramel chocolate bar, and I was so embarrassed that I had done that my boyfriend doesn't know this, but I bought him a new bar downstairs and then just replaced it. So I'd eaten a whole packet of Molten Milks at this point. I'd ate a whole Tony's chocolate bar, and I was like, I don't know how I've got into this predicament, but I have. And then he'll go, oh, do you want dinner? And I'll be like, no, I'm actually really full. And he'll be like, you've barely eaten today. And I'm like, trust me, I have. And he's like, what have you eaten? And I'm like food wise or snack wise? I don't actually eat proper food. This is a problem. Don't know if I'm gaining weight. Don't know if I'm just staying the same. No idea. But in my brain, I'm like, well, I'm going to put on like 2 pounds by the end of the month, because girls put on weight after. Like, I'm not going to see the weight straight away. I understand that. And that's why I am always so on this content line where I'm so upset with the way I look, but I'm not upset enough to the point where I will actually make the change consistently. And this is what I mean by extremism, because I will go one day like, yes, need to cut the weight, gonna go on this marathon run, gonna eat clean for the week and 2 weeks, whatever, like for the rest of eternity. And then it gets to day 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, I go straight back to square one. I feel like I never actually improve. The sad thing is that I don't remember the last time I had a normal diet, because people are like, Corey, just eat normally, have the balance and you'll be absolutely fine. I'm like, what actually is balance? I don't think I actually know myself. A little hack I've come up with when I want to eat something quote unquote bad is I just ask myself, would I eat a bit of broccoli right now? And if the answer is yes, then I'm going to eat that chocolate bar. But like, I don't know, that's probably not the best way of looking at it, because I feel like I would always say yes. But if the answer's no, then I'm not going to touch it. I know I said I wouldn't give advice, but this is just, I always have to try. Identify where your extremism is in your life and then try and work backwards. Because I think binge eating doesn't really have anything to do with the food you're eating. I think it's a lot to do with the emotions that you feel. Like, nothing in my life is going super bad. Do you know what I mean? But the eating is. The eating is. I just feel like I can never win. Being a girl is so tiring. I have some issue at least every single day. Like, if I'm not depressed, I'm anxious. If I'm eating well, I'm actually unwell. Like, I just don't know anymore. I just don't know. I just feel like life really tests us women a lot of the time. That's why we're a lot more emotionally intelligent, because we have to deal with a lot of shit ourselves. So yeah, I just do feel like if you are in the same boat as me, I want you to know that it's okay. I know it's not okay, because I love to look out for health, and I do feel like binging is not the best way to go about life, but it could be worse. It could be worse. I'd rather you guys eat than not at all. So if that's just the way you have to cope with it, that's the way you've got to cope with it. Until you find out a way that you can solve it, then so be it. But then I sort of ask myself, I'm going to be so totally real, like, is there even a solution to this? Because I feel like unless you get out of that cycle and you actually get professional help, then I don't know. And that is not something I can get resources for right now. So I'm going to be stuck with myself for a while, and I'm sick of myself. I think quitting sugar is harder than quitting smoking. I think this sugar addiction is actually taking over my life. I think it's so dangerously scary. I think it's so hard to get over a sugar addiction. I cannot explain how hard it is. But for me personally, it's chocolate. It's something they put in chocolate. What is it about dairy milk? What is it about the Tony's chocolate bar? I just can't get enough. I've had 2 this week already. Oh, like, you might actually be listening to this and think, Corey, I eat way more than you. I don't know what you're talking about. But this is just a brief example because I'm still trying to get over the hurdle of telling you guys what I actually eat. But yeah, I have got to head home now. I'm going out to see my friends this evening and tomorrow. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And I will catch you guys next week. And I'm going to be reading my comments and replying to you all. And catch me on TikTok. I am there a lot. Life's chaotic. Goodbye.